Okay, hope everybody is okay. Take care of yourselves. This is the last PowerPoint presentation, and believe me, I'm very happy about this. I would also tend to believe that you're also happy about it. This is a very short presentation about abstract, and I included conclusions, which most of you are down to this. Okay, so University of Ana Jimenez and the rest of the information, you have my name at the bottom, and your abstract is the first page after the cover page. You know that already. Some of you have already included it. Remember, it must also have the running head or heading and a number, but it's page 2. It goes after. And you all know that we don't have books, and for that reason, I I I looked. It's a short abstract review, and I paraphrased some of it. Some of it I didn't. Most of it I paraphrased. I guess the last no, I most of it. But anyway, just so you know where I got the information from, and I could have just given you the email address, but I figured you wouldn't look at it, so I decided to do it myself. Uh, okay, so your abstract begins on a new page. You place your running head in page number 2 in the top right hand corner, the same as also you should also center the word abstract. I think I went back, but I'm not going to do this again, so bear with me. Okay, remember at the very beginning of class when we talked about paraphrasing and we talked about summarizing and we established the differences. Summary is when you take the main idea and the main points and write them up. Well, an abstract is basically that it's a summary of your work, of what you have done. Um, you're not going to paraphrase anybody, it's yourself. You're talking about yourself. So it's basically a summarizing of your own work, a summary of your own work. Okay, and remember that the main idea of your work, for example, if you wrote about marijuana and you wrote about the effects, well, your main idea is marijuana. That's you can very short, concise. Remember, it's only 12 sentences, single space, no double space, single space. I gave you an example previously. And again, an abstract is a summary of your paper, and 150 to 200 words. Uh, words. I was looking for that mistake, so I'm sorry I didn't see it, or less. The purpose, why did you choose this topic? Why did you want to write about marijuana? Why didn't you write about cancer? Or why didn't you write about climate warming or any other a topic? Why specifically explain why specifically you chose the topic that you did? What was your purpose? Your purpose was to write something, a paper on um, how useful is marijuana for certain diseases, or a recreational purpose. What is the purpose? What was your purpose? And then you can include things that did you have problems finding information about the topic. What problems did you have? I included it, but usually it's for researchers when you want to, let's say, for example, that you part of your research paper is to have a survey, and you have to give out the survey to 150, uh, which is the 10%, 150 students let's say the Universidad de Ana Jiménez, and some of the professors don't let you give out your survey in class because they say that you interrupted the class. So that would be a problem. That would be something that you would include there. The limitations that your study had. One of the limitations that you can mention off the top of my head is the transition from a regular class to an online class, which was very difficult for all of us. So that would probably be a limitation in your research paper. Okay, and where did you find the information that you have, that you compiled, that you thought about, that you cited? Where did you find this information? Remember that I established at the very beginning no Wikipedia, but some of you still insist in Wikipedia. Remember that we talked about uh, reliable information, and you can search the internet, and that doesn't mean that the information that you find is reliable. Okay, lots of people write lots of things. I've heard about tomatoes. I've listened to about how tomatoes are bad for people from arthritis. Does that mean they're reliable? Does that mean we should not eat if we suffer from inflammation or any other tomato linked disease? Should we pay attention to these people? No. Remember that not now, always. You always look for information that is reliable, that people that have credentials um, speak about or write about. Okay, and then we go on again. We're still talking about the abstract. Okay, the structure is the same order as your paper. This I thought, and I think I copied almost exactly as it was. Okay, it begins with a brief summary of your introduction. Remember your introduction, you started mentioning many things about your topic. And then add a summary of the method and the results. What is the method that you use? Most of you used other people. Your reliable sources would have to be other people that wrote about this topic, and have it not on the internet, but have it in the library. And if there are web pages, for example, um, the WHO, which is giving us it's the World Health Organization. That's what it is. And who that's a reliable source, a very reliable source. So that's where we have to go and find out information about COVID-19. So you're supposed to, and remember that in Spanish you don't say so unless you say, well, anyway. And then you add a summary of the method. What method? Well, you searched the internet. That's what you did, not the internet. You went to the library virtually. That's what you did. You searched in libraries, you search in Google's. That's where you got your sources. That's what you have to include there. And the results. What were the results of your research? Did you find out that people should not use marijuana recreationally? Or did you find out that they should use it? That would be like preliminary um, information about your topic. And you should include information about each of your topics. Let's say you're talking about marijuana and you're talking about diseases. Will include the diseases that you wrote about. Just one or two simple sentences. Remember that you wrote about this already, so you should know enough information about your topics to be able to include them in something like this. Um, Let me go back a minute. No, okay. And this is it. Remember, single space, no more than 13 sentences, So write out a couple of sentences and see that somehow they're connected to each other. Use transition, and it's a summary of what you did. Basically, that's it. There's no scientific explanation for this. And then, since you're finished, okay, and this information I copied, I didn't include because this is not worth it. The PowerPoint is not. You could always add. I was supposed to add, but I didn't want to do it. And this information I got from that in from that page, and it says, okay, include a brief summary of the paper's main points. It sounds to me that you could probably expand your abstract in your conclusion and include an information. Ask a provocative question. I would eliminate. I would eliminate. You can use a quotation. You can cite somebody here. When you write, try to evoke a vivid image. What is it? What is your conclusion? At what conclusion did you arrive? For example, one of my students is writing about the West involvement in the Arab countries. What information did you uncover that suits this? It suits the research. What is it that you discovered? What did you find out? And when it says call for some sort of information for action, what it means is that you should usually, and goes over your head, but usually you should say that this topic or this should be studied further, studied further. Or if people continue and with a warning, if people continue to use marijuana um, as a consolation for their many problems, they will probably have many more problems, or they'll probably end up using other drugs, or whatever it is that you think. I'm not saying that what I say is true. Okay? And suggest results or consequences. What I was just saying, consequences. So that's more or less what did you conclude? What did you conclude from your research? What information did you uncover? What information is important? This should only be um, this is also everything else is double space, just like the rest. And it should go after your third topic sentence, and then your references would be the last page. So I hope this somehow gives you some idea on what your the end of your research paper and the end of the semester, which I am sure most of us are going to be very happy that it's over. Well, anyway, this is the last PowerPoint presentation that I will offer in this course, and I'm going to post it up now. So I'll see you then.